Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Kickback. As always, we got John with me.
Yep.
I'm Nick, and we have a artist.
We'll go with artist.
I want to say artist, but I feel like that's just multimedia levels. You know, he always like a lot of mediums, I guess.
A lot of everything.
Yeah, a lot of everything. So please welcome
Mark Weston.
Mark Weston.
Thank you. Nice to be here with you.
Welcome to The Kickback. For people who don't know, you just opened a tattoo shop here in LaBelle. So can you maybe what led you to tattooing in LaBelle specifically?
That's kind of a long story, but
okay.
Starts out, living up in Sarasota, having elderly parents, and basically having to come do stuff for them.
Yeah. Okay. So
tended to move closer and
closer. Just better fit you.
So I finally ended up here in LaBelle where my parents bought.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, welcome to LaBelle. How has business been going for you? I mean, I know you haven't been open too long, but how?
It's in the last week has been pretty good.
Oh,
I was in the paper, so a lot of pay, and I'm like, everybody's sharing my stuff all over Facebook. So business went from sitting on my chair, my desk, watching YouTube videos all day, every day, all day long, to finally, actually getting.
That's actually pretty good.
Work.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. We needed a tattoo shop in LaBelle.
Yeah.
I needed a tattoo shop in LaBelle. Yeah. I've been saying on the pod forever, I'm gonna go get my tattoos. Like I was telling you, it's too much time to get off work, plan to go to Fort Myers, get the tattoo done. Hopefully they're not slow, where you don't get out at 11, 12 o'clock.
Hopefully they know what they're doing, too.
Yeah, because I almost feel like they just fucking, like you call them, scratchers. And, let them go to work. and to get back, it's just a hassle. Yeah. Then you got to hope you could trust someone enough in LaBelle to do a tattoo. 9 times out of 10, you realize, no, you can't.
Well, it's I learned when I had a large boat that if you wanted something fixed, like the engines, the old Detroit engines, you don't go to the kids that are just. You want to find the oldest.
Experience points
that's been in it, that was in the service and is a mechanic. I mean, the guy knows everything about everything to do with that engine, and that's the guy you want to find to help you fix your engine.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I kind of feel like the art part of this, I'm getting up in my years now, but I've been doing this.
When we have a problem, we come to Mark. He's going to be the old guy.
I'm not covered in tattoos. I have a few, but I'm always stayed away from anything face, neck,
anything face.
Not that it's not cool in its place.
In its place. It's on the mark.
There's so many places that it's not all right. So I mean, having them kind of limits, at least what people think about you.
Oh, I can see where you're coming from.
You got all this stuff going in the face, and it was to intimidate your cellmate or something, and now you're out trying to do a business, I mean.
You're just suit and tie and tatted
up. First impressions of at least the customers come to me. They they just know they're gonna get it right when they come to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that you say that, you know, about, you know, coming from a tattoo artist. You know, about the tats. Like, this ain't always that great. Like, it's not always that cool to have face tats there. Or, you know, there's shit you got to do. You know, most tattooists would be like, yeah, dude, I'll put that on your face right
pushing,
now.
Just pushing.
That's tight.
Give me money, dog.
Every
give
person
me money.
that you walk up to, whether it's good or bad, a lot of people my age, anyways, don't look gang. That's what gang, prison, you know, the kind of people I don't want to hire and put in a chair doing tattoos or anything, really, just because, I mean, as it sounds, I guess, but perception of the people around me.
Yeah, I understand.
No, we get that. That's all business.
I get that
aspect.
a lot,
always a business aspect.
Medical tattooing for 15 plus years now, that I didn't have really anything to do with traditional tattooing or art or anything here. It's all been focused on what I come up with for the hair, you know.
And so that's where we want to take it right now. Medical tattooing, you know, the SMP, you know, all that. We want to hear the Weston system. Yeah. Give us everything.
That is your patent, right? That the Weston system
US
is
patent.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy
you have a patent.
All right. Well,
I already cracked mine, so I'm good.
It starts with artistry concepts. This is 06, Englewood, Florida, and I'd been running cranes. Then I got away from the cranes and I started hitting shops around looking for a chair, you know, and just I got into a couple of shops, but the people that were in there were quite a bit younger than me, and you know, just customers would come in and my portfolio's laying on the desk and it's, you know, an inch and a half thick, full of, you know, and the other kids in the shop basically have a portfolio that's got 3-4 pages of photos in it. The people that come in were like, we want him. And then the people in the shop were like, "Yeah, you suck, yo."
You suck. You suck.
You know,
taking the business.
That's rip.
The shop, there was just so much done wrong in as far as the shop in every way, shape, or form. I was there, I think, 6 hours. Packed all my shit back up.
You said this ain't it.
Walked out and. Me and my then girlfriend opened up the artistry concepts, opened my own shop, you know, do, you know, tats, and I did what I wasn't called medical back then because I didn't really have a term, but fixing people's scars and stuff like that. So, that shop opened, and then I added permanent makeup to the shop, and they said that couldn't be done, you know. So I took a shop, and I was a traditional tattoo artist, and then I'm doing permanent makeup.
Yeah, you like transitioned
people
into.
Just didn't see how that could
They
go
didn't put it
together,
together.
you know? But I had one room for the ladies, and I had the other room for the tats, you know. So all the stuff on the walls, you know, kind of knives hanging and tattoo removal, and you know that all
it's like
that
the light
kind,
side and the dark side.
you know,
Sound like
basically.
no whining, all you know, all the normal stuff, the skulls and stuff you'd see. And then you walk in, I'd airbrushed all the walls like a sunset scene. So it was just tranquil when we went in, and it was set up for there was flowers in the corner, and it was a much different setting in there. And I merged the two, and I did quite well with that.
These Latinas need their eyebrows on.
Sorry.
These Latina girls around here need their eyebrows on.
Oh yeah. Well, even I've seen some pretty bad.
I
see some ugly
ones. McDonald's arches. That's what you saw probably. Those golden arches.
I guess it's I'm from another time apparently, because what's going on now with is like beyond
it's
my
a little weird
comprehension.
It's a little weird.
People could even think that, but then again, I have to look at it. They think the same thing about me.
It goes
they
back and
can't
forth,
believe
exactly.
I think the way I think. And so it's it's been a crazy ride like the last 5 years. But
what made you like transition from like you said like regular tattooing into you said like medical hair restoration?
I had a lady, and she's actually on my website. She was in a motorcycle wreck.
Oh, okay.
She had everywhere. She had kind of like had her face ripped off her skull.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Put her back together, and she was normal under all the purple scars and all that kind of stuff. But, she came in, I matched the skin tone, went in, covered them all up, and she had one cut that went through her lip, so her lip was on two different planes. So we lined it straight and put a lipstick color she liked, pretty much permanently.
Yeah. Was like that situation just like on the fly, like they came to you to like get a tattoo or something, or like you thought about it?
She
like
came for the permanent cosmetics.
Oh, okay.
On it basically. And anyways, I got her done. She was very happy. I got rid of pretty much 80% of the look, and I straightened out, so she no longer scared little kids.
That's fair.
It's crazy though.
When she was done, she was waiting for her husband, and he comes in bald as a cue ball. And the lady's looking at what she now looks like, and she looks at her husband, and she looks back at me. She's like, "My God, you were able to do this for me. Can you do something that looks like hair on my husband?"
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never.
There's a scene right there. We'll see.
Really thought about it. So I went a little bit of thought. Obviously, I can't tattoo anything that looks like real hair. That blows and whatever. So I actually just shaved my head. Cut mine all off, and we took pictures basically every day, and watched it, how it looked, from a shaved look on up to, I think we did 5 or 6 days. So when I look closely at the picture, it's a little dot with
like a pore,
kind of a gray shadow off the side where the hair comes through the skin, and now I think I can replicate that. And basically he came in, and the smallest thing that for tattoo needle out here is a single pin. So obviously that's all I had, was stuff like that. I had small stuff, bug pin for the makeup and whatnot, but it was standard needles out here.
Yeah.
So I used a single pin.
Yeah.
Seemed like a logical thing.
Yeah, it's the only thing you got. Got to.
I dipped it in. I went and did a few spots, and it's like, I think I can make this work.
Oh, okay.
And so I did the man's head.
Yeah.
He gets up, looks in the mirror, and he's like, "Oh my God, I got hair." It looks like cutting your hair down to really short, a buzzer.
The fades.
Buzz clipped with, no guard or nothing, and taking it down. So now, matching the color, it looks pretty much the same. If somebody didn't know, which hardly anybody does, and not many people notice anything anymore anyways, but you give the guy back his hairline and, the just a whole different look. The look that he's been crying about that he's lost, for how all of a sudden in a day's time he's got it back. Well, the story goes from there. He came back in about three, maybe 4 weeks later, and he's got a hat on, and he says, "Hey, Mark, let me show you something." I'm like, okay. And he takes off his hat, and there's not a thing on his head.
Doesn't look like you did anything to it.
Like I never touched it, back to the drawing board. Why did this even happen? I just stuck this guy thousands of times. And when he walked out of here, he looked good, but as it turns out, the single pin, if you dip it into anything and push it through his skin, it just wipes the needle clean.
Oh, okay.
When you use it in just in and out, you can make a line with a single. Saying that it's not usable, but for the application that I was trying to use it for, it wasn't working. So
and they'll be able to see that on your website with that plastic wrap.
That.
And
I thought that was. Yeah, I like that you had.
got a YouTube channel.
We'll plug all that in at the end.
They go to that. There's a video up of a demonstration that I actually put together. To just because there, in the time when I started this, there was no company out here. Not anywhere. And in the United States, at least, non-existent. So I was like the first here to do.
That's why you got this patent, sir.
Give any thought to this whatsoever. So, anyways, the demo shows why
why the needle
doesn't work. So we step forward, and my needle, which I've just gone down to a really, really, really small pin, and put 3 of them together, made a round round liner out of that's pulled really, really, really tight at the end. So it's the 3 needles are almost just one, and there's still the gap in there between the 3 needles that ink gets in. So that allowed me to put in little tiny points and they didn't go nowhere. They didn't migrate. They didn't disappear. They didn't.
Yeah, they actually held this time.
And I mean, there's the story that goes through my process of trying to find a needle comes to an old friend, Lynn, who worked as a tow truck driver, and used to stop in the shop because he was on rotation and he'd just be kicked back. And if I wasn't doing anything, I'd do a piece of work or add to something I was already doing, or whatever. And I said to him, "Hey, Lynn, how would you like to be a guinea pig?" And he said,
how would you like to be a lab
guinea
rat?
pig? What? Hair. Hell yeah! So I had somebody that come in, and I was able to, with my needle sets that I was trying to make work, to do a few spots down in the back of his head, and I can watch him and see what they
see what happens to him.
It's almost as good as doing it on myself, but with pain.
Don't have to stick yourself in there.
So it basically, over the course of about 9 months, shipping time included, for getting pins, because I bought pins from everywhere for everything that you could get, right down to acupuncture pins,
Oh, wow.
So, being as old as I am, when I started, you made all your own stuff. You made your own needle sets, and you mixed your own pigments. I'm sure there was stuff you could buy maybe somewhere, but
the odds of getting to it,
the internet by a decade or so, but once I found the needle, there one spot that I did on his head that just, the more I looked at it, I'm looking at it through magnifying glass. I mean, that looks like a hair follicle. It's like the way I roll in. It wasn't really so much a method or whichever, but it was just the motion of my hand coming down and placing just a tiny point. When it come out, it would leave a little, has it come. And when you looked at it, you look like the dot that I put in, and then a little gray shadow off to the side. So with from there, basically, kind of fast forward to my doing jobs, getting jobs in, having people come to me and want me to do this. And of course, back then it wasn't, when I started it, it was just an idea that might work, and it did. So I started putting stuff up on, we made a website, put it all on there for what looked like hair. We called it Hair Follicle Replication.
I can see why.
Right. Easy name.
Sounded
Keep it simple.
It's so, and put it up, and I started getting calls from all over the place, and just asking about it, and needless to say, people were skeptical.
Of course. You get stuck in your head.
The more I did it, the more I got better at replicating, real learning. Because there was no books, there's no people doing it
no
already.
No research ready for you.
I basically had to come up with
ground zero.
something that worked. Then that single needle, which was all that was out there, don't work. So then anything that you can buy commercially, do a dot with that. And it may even look good when you first, if you're really gentle on it, but either it's not going to stay, or if you get it deep enough to stay, it's going to migrate into the point that you did next to it. So basically, a natural, if you cut your hair off, you got skin showing. I don't care how much hair you have, you can see. If you cut it right down, there's skin there. So in replicating that, if there's not a skin tone at all on there at a close buzz, it just looked like people had taken shoe polish and wiped it on their heads. It was not very realistic looking, say. So my points with this new needle I've got, I can place the points, replicate the density that they have, and make it look like they have a hair. A lot of them worry, if I do this, and because I can do it in a day, pretty much, some guys are bigger than others, the heads are bigger than others, so a guy that's got male pattern baldness and he's just a hulk of a guy, his square footage up here is
square
more than
that's a great way.
Somebody my size, or so to say. So he takes a little longer. So but in a day's time, I pretty much can go from not having hair to looking like they had hair. Biggest fears were, I go in, you do this, I go back to work, and everybody's gonna stare at me, and hey, what did you do? So most people waited, till the red, because it's a tattoo, so it's when you hit and it's straight in, straight out, and I'm doing roughly 800 little points in a square inch, it's uncomfortable.
For sure.
But there's no blood. So it's more just the prick of the skin, Nobody really called it painful. They call it irritating.
There you go.
Like being just bit with a mosquito over and over and over
again.
And
I would imagine that if you're bald, you know that area is pretty. It's not tender anyway. Well,
there's all kinds of guys, and they're the ones that wear the toupees and have for basically
their whole life.
They, when they take that off, the skin on their head is totally different than somebody like
just
a regular balding person would be. There's still pores, there's still hair follicles here and there, But on the guys that wear the toupees, especially for any length of time, the skin's more like there's nothing. It's like a blown up balloon. It's just perfectly smooth. There's no pores. There's no nothing.
Easier.
And their skin is really sensitive. But
I could just imagine being poked on my head a million times. Ugh. It's definitely probably. I get what you're saying. Uncomfortable. I feel like it wouldn't hurt, just because like your head does get a lot of sun and this and that, but
almost
I don't know.
Everybody, when they sit down there, they're worried about it's gonna hurt,
It's in the head.
I feel like that's every
start. I mean, basically, almost every one of them will say, "Oh, that's it." Yeah, that's it. Oh, I can do that. No, what it is I'm constantly breaking new skin. I'm putting them in and working my way back over their whole head. So
it's not really irritating over. Yeah.
It's the time that they're sitting there being
stuck.
It takes 5-6 hours, for me normally to do somebody from front to back, and
it's crazy.
It's where it comes in irritate. Most people are in the back, especially. It's just much fattier tissue, so they don't feel. Most people, it's right up here, right in the
just
center,
going like that gives me that headache that I think I would get from that.
Where it feels like there's just bone right under the skin, but there ain't, on it.
So like what you were doing, other procedures like that were being done, but yours, like, you had to keep coming back for the most part.
There's a whole vicious story between that and the companies that are out here today. Basically, there's nobody here that was here before me.
Yeah.
But they all
created
say they were. In the advertising, I had an understanding of fake news a long time ago because I watched other company people say, and I got nothing against, hey, that's a good idea, let's try that. And, that's all well and fine, but to be nasty to try to take down the competition.
It's like they came after you.
That part of it, I didn't like too much. And there was
like crazy.
Quite a bit when they first getting started. The first one was actually a customer came, sat in my chair, and
crazy, right?
And he goes home, starts his own company. And says
I like what this guy's doing.
I'm
gonna do it first.
The whole bit. Well, he was one, and then from there it just rolled. Every tattoo artist, their permanent makeup person, and all of a sudden they were the masters of it. And I read, this person's been doing it for 5 years or 7 years, or but yet they just opened 2 months ago.
No reviews.
So it progressed, and first there was one, there was 3, then there was 30, then there was 300, then there was 3,000.
And ain't getting no smaller.
It just blew up, and I watched it do that. From being nothing, where nobody knew what it was, to just everybody and their brother doing it. The problem with that happening is there's people that don't have any real tattooing experience to begin with, to understand the skin that's on the head is different all over the place.
Well, they're gonna learn fast when that first customer comes back.
You go too deeply, especially with any of the commercial needles that are now being sold as doing SMP, which is scalp micropigmentation. I didn't coin the phrase.
It just got thrown in there.
And if you look it up on Google, you start seeing some of the companies that are out there, but mostly you come up with all kinds of stuff that with those initials that are
probably get a lot
It's
of
like too general. It's like too
senior
general.
citizen,
Yeah.
medical, that kind of stuff. But from with that go, I just watched what I was doing and tried to better myself and just separate myself from the industry.
Yeah.
And I've grown. I grew the industry, or grew my company with more people buying stores coming in, learning from me. They had to pass, at least have tattoos before,
not just wing it.
Newbies never touch any of that shit.
The best people I ended up with getting were like nurse practitioners, a dentist, people that were
good with their hands,
articulate, they paid attention to detail, which is an absolute must. I mean, a lot of people, you can watch, their points where they've done them, and they're not half bad as far as placement, or density. I'm sorry, density. And as they get farther back, they get farther and farther apart. Because they're getting tired. Or, whatever, and hell, the customer can't see behind him, right?
So fuck 'em.
So
shows it in a mirror far away. Hey, it looks good.
Far away.
And the industry just kind of came, and a lot, at least people have heard of it now. When I started trying to sell this, it wasn't all that easy of a sell. I mean, and my first works, weren't that great. I had learning putting the points too close together, because I was trying to get normal, or the average hairs on a head is like 1,200 somewhere in there. So to replicate the look of hair follicles, you need to be close to that density, of what they have. Because I blend down into the hair. When they cut a lot, if they're totally bald, I'll do everything. But for the most part, the majority of the people coming in got the male pattern baldness going on. So they buzz the sides down. What I do looks just like that. And I give them a hairline back that's natural to them. And
so you started the industry completely. Basically invented your own needle, patented it. Is that what is patented? Is your needle?
Fine. I had almost 6 years in patent pending. And in that time,
that's a long time.
Anybody can take it, because all the drawings, everything's
out there, just waiting.
Is out for anybody to look at. So it took 6 years, but they gave me a patent on it.
It's crazy.
And I don't know if I patented the needle and the method that I used to make the needle. So
the Weston system's patent. Okay, all right, just wanted to.
You go on the patent website and type in Weston needle, I come up.
Gangsta.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. When we were first looking through your site, I'm sure Nick noticed it too. We were like, damn, this is professional as fuck. Like, we were really trying to like look for places that could get us somewhere around there. But you know, it's a little rough to find something like that. So I mean, that's pretty cool that you got an actual professional website, not nothing. Well, I mean, you got a patent. Of course, you're gonna have a professional website. Because if not, I don't know if that would help you anything. But let's take one quick break, and then we'll come right back.
Okay.
All right.
And we're back, still with Mr. Mark. You were telling us about your competition and everything. Did your competition, just one question I wanted to know, did your competition ever, how they say, master it? As in, was there anybody that can actually do it besides you that you haven't trained? Did you ever run into something like that?
that falls under false advertising. But I'm, like I've said before, there's people out there that give them the correct tools,
proper training,
knowledge
everything.
of the skin and the differences, as to depth, basically, is where that comes into play, and the what kind of skin they have. The guy that wore the toupee and that skin's like, that's super fragile, but if you take your time and you do it right, it comes out looking the most natural out of all of them, because he can take, and he's cutting his hair down as short as he can cut it. What I do looks just like it. Yeah.
So you're the only one then. Well, what I'm getting at is,
there's a bunch of people out there that are trying to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't personally know, but I stay to myself. But
I
don't personally know anybody.
It might drive you crazy.
I would go to have it done.
Okay.
I guess that would be the fairest way to say. There's nobody out here that I've seen that I would let do me. So it's.
And the reason I asked is because of the patent and everything else. So I was, since you did basically, as we say, get it out the mud, just pulled it out of nothing. You made everything about it, your needle, coming up with the idea of even doing it, like, to think that somebody hasn't replicated it right yet, it must take a lot of skill.
Well, the majority of, if you take the good artists, the guy that he knows his skin, and it's just not your 22-year-old that says he's been doing this for 7 years. Guy. Do the math there. You get somebody that knows what they're doing, and you put the right tool, needle, in their hand with maybe some fundamental, if they don't already know it, the replication, like I said, when you come in and out, you leave a dot and then you leave a little shadow.
And that's all that needle, right?
Dot going. It's actually the movement. It's the needle allows me to put ink under the skin, but
it's the method of the hand.
What?
The method of the hand coming out, basically.
Yeah, and it's, I roll my wrist, so I'm holding on to the machine, and I'm just rolling. The machine's just, my wrist is locked, everything's locked. I'm not, doing this kind of thing.
Not just dots.
Actually, I hold the machine. I roll my hand, so when I'm coming in, and the way it looks could be going in or coming out. That one, I'm not sure about, but it leaves that little shadow. Well, you want to follow that when you're doing the head, because you don't want the shadows on the wrong side of where the hair should be laying, unless they were like really sloppy with the hairs.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
So whenever I was browsing your website, I saw like a smart pigment or smart colors. That's like a concept I couldn't wrap my head around, because whenever I think of smart anything, it's like, hey, play this, play this song. You know what I mean? So,
it kind of cut down is my pigment's permanent. I'm using permanent stuff where pretty much everybody else is using permanent cosmetic pigment.
Oh, okay.
So the difference is the permanent cosmetic pigment. It really, the good stuff. It just like anything. There's really good inks. Really crappy inks.
I got you.
So it's in the whole tattooing and permanent cosmetic industry. There's so much like false advertising and just stuff that they say works that doesn't
like
work,
a generic almost kind of deal.
I feel like we've all gotten into something like that at one point. Bought something that we thought was a good deal.
I feel like just regular paints like that too. Like sometimes you buy like the cheaper brands of paint, they don't really come out as good.
So I start with, and this actually goes back to doing eyebrows, not even the hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where I was going to go next, those eyebrows.
On the permanent makeup side of my business, I was getting ladies in, and they're like needing to redo them. Well, permanent makeup pigment is meant to not last. It's formulated to disappear. So to the ones I've seen, whichever, they're not the color that they were put in. On somebody fresh, it's gonna take the main color kind of goes away, and then it leaves a green or a blue or a pink tint, depending on what was used for the base on it. And then they go back and they do them again. And they do them again, and they do them again. Well, every time you tattoo the skin,
money.
You're scarring it. So basically you keep the women, you've seen they look like they got Sharpie or worms crawling across their head.
I call them McDonald's arches.
The McDonald's arches.
But
shouts out the bell.
I thought it was a better idea, being that it's something that a woman doesn't want to really change. She get her eyebrows right because she spends all kinds of time trying to get them right every morning or whatever, to do them and not do them again. Get in there,
one and done.
Make them look like real eyebrows, where they belong, not any of this, crazy stuff, at the point, all that, just regular, natural eyebrows. So basically I played with a few different companies' pigments, is in a gray base, because almost when you cut your hair way down, you've just got a light shadow on your head. It's not really, most aren't really dark. It's just like if I shaved my head, it actually looks blue, bluish tint to it, blue undertones to our skin, kind of thing. So, and my hair is kind of light. They're getting there. Anyway, most people are just So the pigment can't be dark. So everything just about that's out here, people are just using it right out of the bottle, and no knowledge of the color wheel or, how to mix a pigment to get a color, so the customer ends up with the closest of what was ever in the bottle set that the artist had to do it. So
it's literally just like, hey, I'll take your $500.
Come back in 3 weeks.
Half off.
That's an important part.
Half off. That's crazy.
So to get rid of them having to do this, I started playing with basically gray shade. Tattooing traditional, and there's a bunch of them out there, and basically I tried everything, all of them along to see how they lasted. Did found if I took that gray base and I tint it, with browns usually, and I could match, person's hair color, redheads, whichever, I could add the colors to it, just tints, mind you, to it to match it. So when all was said and done, their hair matched what it was doing,
Yeah.
The tints basically burn out in time by themselves. That's the tattoo that's disappearing on your arm, as you age or whichever. But found that the gray doesn't go away. So the brown would very slowly drop down to gray.
Yeah.
So what do we do as we get old? We get gray.
Yeah.
So I found, in how much tint I put in the pigment to basically how long I thought it would last. None of this is science, it's just... I think this, I got a young person. Younger people don't tend to take care of it like it should be,
For sure.
to get it done. They're out the door, man, I got hair. What happens is over about 10 years of time in going out in the sun and whatnot, it burns that tint out a lot quicker than it should be. If the head was covered with a cap or, at least SPF or something, the tattoo, like any tattoo, would stay. It'd stay the way it was supposed to and age the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
So in time, as we turn gray, it's turning gray. So it worked great for eyebrows.
Yeah. So they weren't meant to be permanent then.
I'm sorry.
Like even just because we talked about how your hair, it's permanent. What you do. The eyebrows are never meant to be permanent because the hair's changing color. Is basically what you're saying, and you just made more of the tint to basically keep it longer, depending on age and everything else.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. It takes a lot to just...
It sounds like a lot goes into
it.
Basically came up with the name, Smart Pigment. It aged with you. It was smart.
I like that.
So,
I bet all the girls bought into that too. They were just like, for sure. That's what happened.
Smart ink, bro.
Yeah. To be honest, I could see you getting a lot around here as soon as that gets out, to be honest.
Yeah.
The eyebrow stuff, because we see a lot of people like that around here.
I mean, I get the younger girls which are, they have different ideas
Oh, God.
of what they
You'll
want.
bedazzle this.
Bedazzle.
And I just don't. It hurts me to
do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I feel you.
So,
Yeah.
They
want those McDonald's arches.
Get the maybe not the ones that want natural.
Yeah.
Come to me, I give them to you. Yeah.
Just charge the other ones triple. You want this? I gotta charge.
This
triple.
is slander.
Doing that is honestly like a moral dilemma.
Yeah,
Right, it is.
Yeah, no, we're just playing. It's just funny. I can definitely see a bunch of girls coming and just being like, I want it like this.
I live in
You're
the
just
wrong
like,
town, I think, to worry about that too much.
yeah. Yeah. This is funny. With the eyebrows and everything, like, I know you said, you started just by having it in the back of the tattoo shop, opening the permanent makeup and everything like that. Did that take off as well as your skin transplant, your hair skin transplant?
Actually, it's funny you should say that. When I started getting more people on the heads, now I've got jobs that I've got pictures of that I'm able to show people. I mean, I would think it's a hard sell to walk up and, hey dude, sit down, let me tattoo some hair on your head.
Yeah.
Any smart person would go, hey, I really think that's a good idea. So it was hard. So now, not so much, but I watched the industry go from skeptical as it was done, but to watching a bunch of young punk kids say with the tattoo machine and getting out there and saying what I do this and bringing people and just messing them up. The first ones out there, they were using just like black regular tattoo ink, and so
God.
If you look at
you just see dots in there.
SMP failures on YouTube,
That'd be funny.
You'll see exactly
right.
Yeah, we're gonna go through that. That sounds funny.
People just got black blotches on their heads, or people were gonna camouflage the scar they had there and used the totally wrong color, and black in most of it. And when I was playing with all of this, I learned pretty quickly that there's a whole lot of blacks out there, and different blacks are always trying to be blacker than the other black, so they put different things into that black in hopes of making it blacker. Do whatever it is that they want it to do. Well, with a person with blue undertones, Caucasian as an example, you put that on the head, you got a blue head. Because the pigment just looks blue, just a dark blue already, a blue hint. And then you got the blue undertones on the skin. It
does not look good.
That's
what I imagine the McDonald's eyebrows with, that kind of ink. Yeah.
But that's
and the same thing with the eyebrows. You get somebody that goes, well, I could put them on, come on over, have a seat in the kitchen chair, and I'll take care of that, and end up with like worms crawling across their face.
It's
Yeah.
tight.
Mm-hmm.
But I can just. The bad thing is, I could see someone coming in with shaved eyebrows and be like, "Can you like put worms there as eyebrows?" I could see someone doing that.
Gangster.
I've never had that.
I could see someone doing that, especially in this town. All the rednecks fishing, that's all they want.
Okay. All
I
right,
can see
man.
it. Watch, you'll see it.
For your eyebrows, have you had like any guys or males like dabble with that?
Actually, quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they come in for this and they're losing their alopecia. You know, there are a few different things where the
all
their hair.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a picture of one on the website there. When I done them, it was back, Christ, maybe in 10 or 11, maybe. But he wore a hat all the time, and his head was white. I mean white, and being, he was like my first, alopecia patient to do this on, and plus he was so white, and then his dad and his mom were lawyers.
Stress level
nothing like a little pressure here, to not do something wrong to their son,
Hella pressure.
Like that. I ended up doing them, and
gotta trust yourself.
So he sat there. I just turned 18. Where his parents, because of new laws in Florida where kids couldn't come in.
Oh yeah.
So waited till that time. He came in, and first day did great. It took me 3 days to do, everything. So over the years, down the neck. I mean, and then put eyebrows on him as well, because he didn't have eyebrows either. Second day, not as happy as he was the first day. By the end of the third day, he was begging his mom to stop it. It looks great, It
hurts.
It just hurts.
He was definitely not ready for that.
So, again, no blood, but it was just 3 days, like 7-8 hours. Because I mean, I'm still learning, at this point, big time. I mean, I'm learning the pigments, which pigments are gonna give me the color, on a head, to match hair, and just learn everything, because
also because of his medical condition, I feel like that would add like a little bit of like it's like not regular skin. I mean, I wouldn't know, but like different kind of texture of skin and all that. So
skin was like the guy that wears the toothpaste.
I could only imagine.
It's crazy though. So with the eyebrows, that's pretty cool, but. Just because we're talking about it, has anybody ever come and asked for like a mustache?
I was going to ask that too.
Anything like that?
Actually, was just going to say it again, one on the website, but he had been burned. He's actually on my unique cases. On the website, but he'd got the one side just completely burned us. So half of his beard, he didn't have an ear. So he came from Ireland to come and see me. As well, he had to leave, go to Washington, fly to Washington. They made him a prosthetic ear. So I did pretty much everything, but I left way up over the ear to do. He went, came back, so this new ear, and I put the hairline where
where it
should go,
but the beard, he did tell me, and it was hard to do, which I'm guessing, I've never even done a face tattoo other than permanent makeup, but I've never tried to draw on it or anything. It's pretty easy to move around and pretty hard to get decent lines or anything on.
Yeah.
So, lost.
Yeah, no.
Right out of my head.
No, it's good. I just didn't know with you, saying about the no face tats and things. I didn't know if you would do something like that, the beard and everything.
And if they keep their beard cut down, I was able to replicate the follicles of the hair on it.
So as long as they kept up with it, it would look right.
You let it grow out on one side, the other side kind of starts standing.
Or just shave all of it and it'll still have the tattoo.
Oh yeah. Imagine
it's
they
like
just
you would need dedication.
You shaved one side of your face.
It'd be a good Halloween, costume. You always have one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool though. Mm-hmm. So, did you touch the mustache as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was tattooing someone like right there doing that type of method? I mean, it's got to seem a little nerve-wracking just to be around someone's mouth like that, or just poking a needle.
Are you using like a magnifying glass too as you do it, or this is just like the naked eye?
I actually wear prescription.
Oh,
nice. Just so you can see.
Yeah.
A hair looks like a tree trunk to me. When you get to my age, the eyes are going anyway, so every little bit helps you.
Yeah, of course.
But it's real hard to stretch the skin up under there and get points in, because if you don't stretch the skin, then the needle just pushes the skin down.
Oh, it just like moves with the needle.
You might get some ink in the top layer, and it looks like it's there, but it's not deep enough to actually stay there. So that's pretty hard to this here was also real hard.
I never thought about that, like tattooing the loose skin like that.
To get what looks like hair.
What looks like hair.
Follicles, it's, hit it, nothing. Hit it, nothing. You keep playing with it, but now that I have it down, the first,
all your experience.
First jobs or first things I've done.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I kind of look at something and say, I can do that.
Yeah.
And do it pretty much like I've done it 100 times. But at the same time, I can look at something and go, nah, I can't do that. I'm not even going to try.
Well, you're a special breed of artist then.
Yeah.
A lot of artists be like, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll wing it.
Show me the money.
Show me the money, exactly.
Show me the money.
But if you're working on somebody's
face
or whatever with permanent tattooing, I play it to the more cautious side.
Yeah. Smart decision.
But when I got going, the hair started picking up, and I found that I didn't really like doing women's makeup, to begin with. All of them want eyeliner, and so
eyeliner.
That is like the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done. Is
I don't even like my eye. My eye, like that just. who can put nothing around my
That's
eyes.
And
Like
all
no.
it takes is a flinch,
And you're just,
and
pop.
she's got a
Permanent
smiley
dot.
face on her eye. You know,
Chill.
too much stress. You know, too much stress. So
That's scary.
I started
My eyes going wild just
phasing
thinking about
out,
it.
Yeah. My eyes want to water just thinking about it. That's crazy.
phasing out of the women's makeup part of it and doing more heads and
Yeah. I
I was
comfortable
still
with.
traditional tattooing, and back at that time, that's all I'd been doing. So when I started doing dots on head, that takes like a really light touch, you
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
So the traditional work, when I kind of like translate to go from one to the other, I do head. Now I've got it, nice light dots, and I'd sit down and do a tattoo, traditional tattoo,
Yeah.
and wipe it off, and the lines were hardly there.
Yeah. Because you were just so used to it.
Yeah.
So I'd go over it again, get it down deep. Now when I had the next guy for the head sit down in
deep
my
under
the
chair,
heavy hand.
that poor guy, you know, getting nailed because I'm too hit. So I quit traditional
Oh, okay, yeah.
tattooing altogether, quit the makeup, you know, for the most part,
Yeah.
altogether, and just focused on getting as good as I could with doing the hair, which
Yeah.
I went from it taking me 3 days to do, you know,
Full
whole
head.
jaw, whole head,
Yeah.
to basically a small guy I've done in a day.
Mhm.
You
Nice.
know, so it's like my speed. If it wasn't for having to see where I'm placing the dots, I swear I could just go to sleep and,
Yeah.
you know, and do it, you know, I mean, because I feel the needle when it touches the skin. I know just what point I could do it.
It's second nature to you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's
I've
up.
done,
So how long did that take before you got back into tattooing then?
it's
They-
actually only been
Just to learn.
Since LaBelle.
I'm sorry.
Just to learn to do that where it's second nature, where you could go
Oh.
back to traditional tattooing and be fine.
I'd say, I mean, is
Couple
I
years.
didn't really lose a whole lot with it. I mean, basically took me a tattoo or two to just get back into the
Oh, okay. So it wasn't that
line,
bad.
and having done the hair for so long now, I felt that I wouldn't have any problem changing back and forth to do a traditional tattoo in one pass.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and still the next day have somebody sit in my chair and put
Yeah.
hair on them, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's done well. I've done both. I've done a dozen people here in the last few months.
Me one of them.
True. True.
Well, I mean, doing the hair.
Oh, really?
So-
you've had them recently then?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
About a dozen people in the last
Yeah.
2 months.
That's crazy. Dang.
That's pretty good.
But then the tattoos, this small town, yeah,
sure.
but it seems to be growing. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
we.
The hard part, I don't speak the language that it's growing
Yeah.
with. So it's
Because when you get bigger, you gotta
for me.
hire that bilingual secretary.
Well, yeah, well, right now my secretary is Google
Yeah.
Translate.
Yeah.
Which is, you know,
It works.
It works. It works.
All they gotta
You know,
do is come in, show you a picture, show you where, show you the size, and let's get it. This is how much
that's
money.
It.
Yeah, the dollar
So
sign.
I'm almost gonna just do flashcards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have a
Now
bunch
that I
ready
don't
for answers.
know the answers,
Yeah, that'd be funny.
yeah. The business in the last week anyways, since I've been slammed all over the Facebook and everything, so everybody's kind of knowing I'm here. Kind of a easy place to drive by, especially if you live here.
5 minutes away.
Don't even notice it, you just go. So not having the signs and whatnot, but the signs going up, and it'll be up in another week and a half.
Yeah, and that'll definitely bring
it definitely will. I'm telling you.
See where I'm at.
Yeah,
for a fact, it will bring more people, I think.
And to be honest, like I said, I can't wait to get more tattoos. I'm literally looking through my my Pokemon book for my cards, the ones I want. I'm like, dang, I kind of want this one, and I want this one, and now I'm like, I'm just gonna turn this whole leg into like Pokemon card tattoos. So,
and I've got some great ideas for.
So there we go. We'll just let them ride.
Let them ride.
I'm good with it.
These are the Pokemons I want. Just put them however you want.
Exactly. Yeah. They just need to go here.
Do a whole stack of cards.
That'd be cool.
Overlaid. Kind of a thing.
So is there anything else that you want to let the listeners know about the Weston system? Is there anything else they need to know? Because we'll traffic your site. At the end we always plug in all of our sites. You say your YouTube, your Facebook, everything for everything. But is there anything else they need to know before we move on?
If you're, I guess I'd say if you're looking into it and you're not coming to me, really do your research.
Yeah, you're doing the wrong thing if you're not coming to Mr. Mark Weston.
If somebody's telling you they've been doing it this long or whichever, ask to talk to a customer, see a customer, whichever, before you just let somebody, because it can be a mistake that you pay for the rest of your life,
So if you're looking for references, ask John and Nick at the Kickback, and we will send you to the right person. Basically, because you can't trust anybody just poking at your head. That's for sure. Don't trust anybody just poking at your head.
Not a wise decision.
No, not your local tattoo boy from that you knew in 8th grade. Definitely don't let that
from
happen.
the 8th grade.
We're gonna take one more break and we'll be right back.
All right. What's up, everybody? We're back. So for like you say, you don't got to sign out. Do you know the address off the top of your head for your tattoo shop? It's like something 86 West Hickapoochee Avenue.
Yeah, Hickapoochee.
It's right with
Hickapoochee, whatever you want to call it.
A lot of the people down here can't say Massachusetts. I'm still having trouble with the name of this road.
Yeah, no, everybody does. We don't know what it's really called. When you put it on GPS, it sounds weird. But for the local listeners, it's dead across from Burger King in the plaza with Metro and the Chinese place and everything like that. So you'll see it as soon as you walk up. You'll see the little tattoo.
The building's been here forever.
Yeah, the building has been here forever. Yeah. You know where it is.
China Uno.
China Uno.
Oh yeah, there you go.
If you can find them, you can find me.
Yeah,
exactly.
The jewelry store here next door.
Yeah, it's weird. Jewelry store. We didn't even know that was there.
It did, but it didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice lady.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So, with your tattoo shop, the first thing they're gonna walk in and see is just how your setup is, which is pretty cool. But the one thing they're not gonna know off the top of your head or their head is that you literally did everything in here.
Yeah, for the most part.
At least 80%, correct?
There's a bunch of art pieces everywhere.
My girlfriend, she does the mugs, makes mugs, puts anything you want on them, photographs, saying
they look really nice.
Whatever.
I can imagine you wanting that one with a scream on it.
Yeah, I would love
this scream and jigsaw.
Scream. I told him I wanted the scream tattoo already.
Yeah,
it's my favorite thing. It's honestly pretty cool. Did this all translate into you tattooing? Or is this just something
art is art.
You literally are an artist and you've been just picking up different little art styles here and there and trying your hand out?
I've done work on just about every medium, glass, but I'm more of a commercial artist, or have been, more sign painter, pinstriping, that is more of what I started with pinstriping when I was like really young. And
it looks good though. Yeah. They really did. He has a booklet. He has a booklet of all his stuff. As soon as you come in, you just look through them. Pretty nice pinstriping, and it's just so crazy.
Yeah, seems like you got a very steady hand.
True that.
That's everything. Just to do everything, takes a steady hand, and it's tough. As some amateur artists here, we dabble in our paintings, and Nick does his resin art. It's just.
I actually just picked that. Trying. I have the laser engraver. So
that's cool.
I take pieces and basically I can cut them out in relief, and then I was taking acrylic resin, mixed different colors, and making like tree of life, or
that would be dope.
This or that with different color, green up top, brown down the bottom. Pretty cool really stuff to work with.
It would be really cool.
Yeah, you got to see some of his pieces. His pieces are pretty cool after. He'll show you after, but they're pretty cool.
Doing like paint on koi ponds is what I do. Like paint koi ponds, like fish, and like lily pads and shit like that. Yeah.
That's him.
I've only been in it for like about 2 months now, so.
Yeah, but he's a decent artist.
It's fine.
So it's not like we're just.
It's really
throwing
different.
it, but it's just something he's learning. But it's pretty cool still. Yeah, it's something I can't get into.
It's a lot different than painting, like just paper.
I'm a painter. I like to paint, and it's just something for me to be tranquil and just I chill off to myself. I go to my little room, sit down, throw on some music, and I do my painting. And as much as I want to be good at it, I know I'm not. It's just
self-doubt.
Fun.
Self-doubt.
Yeah, whatever. It is a lot of self-doubt.
I always grew up liking sets. I like sets and shit.
Yeah.
So a set of brushes or set of paints or I've always it's hard to say which one feeds the other. But my enjoyment of getting the materials to do the job is almost as much as it is doing something with them.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Is there anything other than pinstriping that you do or have done? Because like you said, you talked about the laser engraver. I heard you do engravings on guns and knives and things like that. You want to speak on that for a little bit, because that could be something that pops here as well, because there's a lot of people with a lot of guns here.
Gun stocks would be people would be interested in that. I feel like I low cam.
You want to start over or newer?
No. We'll take one more quick break, and then we'll come back in and we'll tell all of that.
Okay.
So we'll be right back. Yo, we're back. We're here talking to Mark Weston. We talked to him about the Weston system, his heads, his permanent makeup, everything that we, touched on is pretty wild. You guys should definitely check it out.
New local businessman.
Yeah, new local businessman for sure, for LaBelle, Florida.
Navy veteran.
Yeah,
veteran.
Yeah, what branch, by the way?
Navy.
Navy veteran.
Yep.
So definitely, it's a good guy.
Yeah.
Come in, sit down, talk to you. He'll get you right. We want you, because we're gonna have a part 2. We want you to plug in for your Weston system and everything else like that.
Yeah, where can they find you?
Yeah, exactly.
How they can reach out to you.
probably the best place. The website was put together as like an education. It's not, click here, buy now, all the on sale, all that kind of stuff. It's just an education.
It is.
The whole site was put together like that. There's a bunch of drop downs that really go into detail on every aspect of doing
what we touched on and more.
Yeah.
The site can be found at westonsystem.com.
Once you get on there,
Facebook page. Actually, when the easiest way is just go on the site, top right corners, Facebook,
it'll take
LinkedIn,
you right to it.
Everything. The YouTube, I have a pretty large YouTube channel, and pretty much I put most of what's on the website into video form.
So that's the westonsystems.com.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to go to Facebook from there and YouTube to see everything.
Just click the little icon that's on the top of the page, I believe.
Yep.
So
we want to thank Mr. Mark Weston for doing this.
Thank you guys.
It was pretty fun. Part 2. We're going to have this part 2. Before we do, Nick, you got anything to plug in?
As always, just listen to the Kickback Podcast.
For sure.
We're on Instagram. You can check out our mini clips, our videos, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere you can catch anything. We're there.
Yeah.
At the Kickback PC.
So see you guys next time.